What is up, guys? I'm NarendraTheComic, and right now we're going to be talking about a different topic. Don't really talk about people. I don't really like many people in the world. I don't hate many people. Hate very few people, but I definitely like very few people as well. I'm sort of a prick. But today we're going to be talking about Pewdiepie. Now, why Pewdiepie? Pewdiepie because I think the man is a very good content creator for the site, for YouTube, and I don't think he gets enough respect. I don't think he gets the respect he deserves. He's been on YouTube for a decade now, basically, and he puts out good content, finally. So as you can tell from the finally, I didn't really used to like his content, but we'll get to that later. He is the biggest of all of us on the platform, but he doesn't represent everyone using it. But I'd say he's actually a pretty good spokesperson, even if he chooses not to be. Out of most of the big YouTubers, he seems like a pretty down-to-earth guy. And maybe it's because he seems like a pretty regular guy, nowadays at least, that he gets a lot of negative attention and press. Like being called just derogatory things that once you've been called them, you can't be uncalled them, you know? Like a Nazi. Like a Nazi. Yeah, he just gets a lot of unwarranted negative attention. Yeah, he did a couple years ago at least. Freaking Joanne. Prick. I'm joking. I love Harry Potter, you know, before you made the cursed child. And the truth of the matter is, I really didn't really like the motherfucker a couple years ago at all. I really didn't. No, I didn't know why he was so popular playing video games. It just stumped me. But I didn't like his content or his person. Obviously you don't really know someone from what they're online. I'll be completely 100% with you here, and I'll say that I'm pretty much like I am on screen. It sounds crazy, but most people fake who they are on screen. I don't really do that. I really don't. Maybe I'm like a heightened version of myself on screen by like, what, 10%? But it's not like I'm a completely different person on screen to what I am in regular life, you know? But for some reason, I just didn't like this dude. I don't know why it is. I just had this feeling of being like, I don't want to watch your video. I'm just gonna click off of it. If it comes up as the next video on the playlist, I'll be like, click away from it. I don't want it. But for some reason now, I just like the dude's content. I like the stuff he makes. And he basically just meme reviews all the time. That's what he does. But for some reason, I love it. And I don't know why I love it. Actually, you know what? Just thinking about it, I've been trying to film this video for like 15 minutes now. Really professional setup here, guys. You know, noise comes in, people come in. I can't do anything about that. I really can't. I know what actually shifted me to be like, I'm actually gonna watch his stuff. It was all the stuff happening from mainstream media outlets, by one just labeling him a Nazi, like outright calling him an anti-Semite. You know, I think I looked at that and I was like, Mans, I might not like Mans. I might not like him. But I don't think Man's an anti-Semite. I don't think he's racist. I don't think he is a Nazi. No. So I looked into it further. Man's obviously, clearly not a Nazi. He might look like a traditional Nazi, but he's not actually a Nazi. I liked it more and more the less and less shits he gave in general. And I was like, man, do you have balls of pure adamantium? You just don't give a fuck. And you really went up against these like huge outlets like the Wall Street Journal, Huffington Post, I think as well. When all that stuff happened, I know I was in a place where I was questioning things in general about that time, especially about mainstream media outlet, regardless of what side it's on, left or right. And I was like, you can never take anything at face value nowadays. You have to do your own research. You have to just look into something just 10% more than what they're telling you, and you'll find out if they're telling you the truth or not. If you want the facts and you want the real truth, look it up yourself. And he had my full support. Even me as a like small creator on the platform, I was just like, he was being wrongly portrayed, and it's disgusting and it's immoral. And the fact they did that and could take something out of context like that is just abhorrent. It brings me back to the Nazi pug thing. I mean, I've said Nazi, like I said so many times. Oh, jeez, Nazi again. But the Nazi pug thing, the guy is making a joke, and he had to pay a fine at the end of it. It was such a waste of time to do all of that and then pay a fine. But the fact he paid a fine means that in the eyes of the court he did something wrong, which is, I mean, well, let's not get into that, but that's just ridiculous. What happened to Pewdiepie when that happened was just straight up defamation. And why he's not respected, I don't know. But whenever I watch a video of his, I just laugh. Like, it's just funny to me. Now, I don't know if it's actually funny or if I'm just weird. I know I'm weird. I don't know if I'm as weird as Pewdiepie. He's a pretty odd motherfucker. I have a liking for the guy and I have an affinity for the guy. He just seems like a decent human being who's been slapped about a bit too much. And he makes better content. Maybe that's because now he has editors. Maybe pay Brad 1 and Brad 2 just slightly more. Also, are they actually called Brad 1 and Brad 2? Like, are their names both Brad? That would be something. That really would be something. So everything about you now, I like. But I will say, your $3.99 chair, that can fuck off. That can fuck off. No one's buying a £3.99 chair. No one's doing it. Something else, I guess. Good job on the book club series. Yeah, very good. It's a good thing that you're encouraging people to read. People just don't do it enough nowadays. And that's something which has influenced me as well. Well done. Good job. You've managed to have an impact on at least one person's life properly. Also, congratulations. Congratulations. I'll give you a clap on getting engaged. Well, you got engaged, actually. You're engaged now. You're not getting married. Well, you're going to get married after you've been engaged. I understand. I just don't really understand. Not many people my age really get married, 22, 23. Yeah, not really. It's more my cousins and stuff, and older people than that. I'm not saying you're old. I mean, you are, but you're not that old. Yeah. Wow. This went from a compliment to anything but a compliment by calling you old. Huh. And he just got put into another thing about someone copywriting his video. Man gets copyrighted all the time. Give the guy a break. I mean, he makes more money from his merch than he does. He's like Logan Paul. I'm not saying PewDiePie's Logan Paul, but what I am saying is that he makes more money from his merch than the videos. Wow. I know if he had that merch drop with the hats and stuff, he probably made like £500,000 maybe from that. So good job. Capitalism at its finest. I love it. I love it. Anyway guys, if you did enjoy this video, please do like, share, comment and subscribe to the channel down there. If you didn't, then the mainstream media will come after you. I don't know who I'm gonna put there. That could be quite interesting. I'll decide at a later date. And you don't want that. You don't. They'll lampoon you with defamation. They'll destroy your character. They'll call you a Nazi or whatever else they'll call you. And you don't want that. You really don't. So just subscribe anyway to avoid that. I've been NarendraTheComic. You have been great. I'll see you next time. Skadoosh.